Dear patrons, this will be the daily routine I was most afraid of posting, as it is, at least for me, the hardest to play, and also the most to notate, since I wanted to give you a chance to download the exercises. I have told you about my teacher Markus Nikos, who forced or encouraged me at the age of 12 to start from scratch, just open strings for 3 months. And once I was allowed to use my left hand as well, one of the first exercises was Feuillard number 8 and 9. Most cellists have played at some point in their lives these daily exercises by Louis R. Feuillard. So while I'm not telling anything new here, I just wanted to share my view on the importance of picking one exercise like this and trying to modify and perfectionate it. In my case, unsuccessfully, so I'm still doing it every day I practice. For me, this slightly modified Feuillard number 8 represents everything I need to work on for shifting up and down, smaller and bigger shifts. And may I point out, the downshifting is for me twice as hard as the shifts up. No need to play the full book of exercises, this is plenty of work, at least for me. What did I change? Well, for once I added an octave, which turned this exercise into something much more complete than stopping after the 6th position and going back down. As in the daily routine number 5, the Oistrach shifts with one finger, it is for me crucial to think each shift from the left shoulder. The arm and the hand are just reacting to the initial push or pull from the shoulder, depending if you shift up or down. Each shift should be calm, but at the same time with absolute conviction. Don't kind of ease your way into the note in order to be perfect, as in higher speed you don't have the time for looking for the note. No, you have to be absolutely convinced that your shift lands wherever it's supposed to land. And if it doesn't, don't put yourself down, but just go back a step and repeat it even slower. This means you have to be as honest as possible with your intonation. No correction of any wrong note. Just quickly analyze what went wrong and go 2 steps back. My father, a violinist of Berlin Philharmonic and a great teacher who had always refused to practice with me as he wanted me to be as independent as possible, had once given me a lecture after listening through the door when doing these exercises. And what he said stuck in my brain until today. Each wrong note you play is being remembered by your brain, and to correct it quickly is like cheating yourself because you take the opportunity away for you to remember it right. Play slowly enough so that you can avoid playing out of tune. And if you do play something out of tune nevertheless, go a couple of notes back to get the shift right. Only then you may proceed. Only then did you actually practice. The automated playing without listening is worse than a waste of time. It is throwing yourself back, as the fingers will remember the wrong shift, not the quick correction. The other modification I did was inspired by the 5th line of Feuillard number 8, as well as my inability to play the slow movement of Haydn C major in tune. I thought I was an idiot that I couldn't get these simple slow scales up and down in tune. And you can't believe my relief when I heard 2 great cellists, among others my own teacher Pergamenchikov, struggling slightly with that movement in concert. I was relieved because that showed me that as simple as this might sound, for us cellists it does represent a difficulty, and that is why I came up with this latest set in this daily routine section. and that is why I came up with this latest set in this daily routine section. And very important is not only the shift from fourth to first finger up, but also the shift down a fifth. After shifting down is in my eyes so much harder than shifting up. Even worse is the reverse version, coming down from the top. There you have to shift down a seventh. Yes, please take your time. If necessary, go note by note until your hand shifts calmly in the right position. Again, the feeling for the shifting should be shoulder moves the arm and the hand moves as unit wherever the arm leads it. The fingers don't really reach out nor stretch. They should be led by the arm to the perfect position. It might feel strange, but I assure you this is the easiest and most efficient way to a better intonation. Once in an interview, a journalist told me that people who have achieved excellence in a certain field do one thing which others don't, and he wanted to know what my thing would be. My answer back then was that I'm doing the same daily routine I have more or less done as a child. I'm cleaning my basics every single day, which might seem strange as I should know them by now. Today I would add that I not only do these basic routines, but that I do them much slower and much more consciously than ever before, double checking all the time that I not only hit the right notes, but that I also get the mechanics right, left and right hand. I remember a fellow student of Pergamenchikov, maybe the most gifted of all the students back then, never had to practice, party animal, great guy, gorgeous sound. He admired my quick fingers. I didn't know what to say, but inside myself I just recalled the time when I did admire the young Ole Akahoshi, who always beat me in the youth competition because he just had a much better technique than me. I had no clue what I was doing before the age of 12, just loved to express music. Well, it is so much easier to express the music you feel inside when technical problems are not constantly in the way, taking the focus from expressing music while trying to stay barely alive. And such a shame if you have to adjust your interpretation so that you can play a certain passage due to technical limitations. No, I didn't have quick fingers by birth, but since I do love music and since I did want to become a professional musician, I knew it wasn't enough to be just a good musician, whatever that means. You also have to master your respective instrument in order to at some point make a living out of what you love most, playing music, and in my case the cello. In my next video I will talk about my time management and self-motivation as asked for by my patron Brendan Tarm. But right now I will leave Madrid for the first time in 3 months, traveling to Germany for my concerts this weekend. Be well, warm wishes und tschüss.